Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 3rd of November. A little light rain in spots this morning. Some pretty cold air coming down the pike for the weekend. Let's talk about it. Look out the window this morning with the Skycam shots around the network at the ridiculous hour of 5 o'clock. That's down in Mobile. Looking back toward downtown Mobile from the parking lot of the battleship USS Alabama. Rain falling there. Good steady rain. Up this way, not much happening. That's the Inverness Skycam. Things pretty quiet at 5 o'clock. And from downtown Jasper, from the King Building. You can see the streets are wet there. They've seen some rain overnight. Big upper low near Houston, Texas. And that thing will be drifting slowly to the southeast. And we'll be in a zone today where we'll probably see some light rain falling at times. No severe weather, no thunderstorms, probably just occasional periods of light rain. And we note pretty cold air over the northeast. In fact, really cold air up there and pretty chilly over much of the country. And, of course, we're the warm spot down here with the clouds, but that colder air will be invading Alabama on Friday with a brisk north wind, as you'll see. There's the radar at 5:09. Bands of light rain, mostly light rain across the state. Nothing to really make any big news, and we'll see that off and on today. Rainfall amount should be on the light side. In fact, there's the QPF chart, and this is suggesting, as expected, the better rains near Mobile and Baldwin counties down there in the Gulf Coast. Maybe 2 inches in spots down there. And up this way, maybe 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, something like that. Not a whole lot. Of course, by the time you get up to the Tennessee border, barely enough to measure up there. So just kind of a cloudy, cool, and damp day with some light rain at times. Peak of the tropics, boy, that's a big disorganized mess. Tomas is no more a tropical storm. It's a depression with top winds of 35. Hurricane Center still believes it becomes a Category 1 hurricane, scooting over the western part of the nation of Haiti late Friday night. And again, that's not good news for that country, still recovering from the big earthquake. And then it scoots out into the open Atlantic and weakens again. So, again, as we've talked about for days, it is no threat to the United States. The main issue is for that for Haiti and the western part of Hispaniola. We also note Jamaica is under a hurricane watch as it skirts by there late tomorrow night. Let's look at the GFS, the Global Forecast System. If you're new to this, this is a model output, the main U.S. global model. This is valid at 1 o'clock today at 500 millibars. The altitude with the pressures at that level, and that's about 19,000 feet typically. And you can see the upper low that's around Houston. Energy diving down the northern branch north of us, and around here just kind of a cloudy day with light rain at times. Highs will be in the 50s much of the day, probably reaching maybe 61 or 62. Tomorrow, the upper low becomes absorbed by the developing trough over the east and kicks out. And down below that, the rain should be ending pretty early in the day. In fact, I would suggest the rain ends before the sun comes up, and the sky becomes sunny pretty quick. So it should be a day with returning sunshine, the high in the low 60s, and then Friday, here comes your really deep trough over the east. Now, this run has the axis a little farther east, but still, we've got good cold air advection. The 540 line not quite as far south as recent runs. It's got it down to about Huntsville and Gadsden, and that would suggest a high Friday in the mid-50s. The GFS is showing 56. But with that breeze, it'll feel awfully chilly, and then Saturday the wind goes light, and we are set for the first widespread freeze of the season. The GFS is showing 32. For Birmingham, we think lows will be anywhere from 27 to 32, maybe mid-20s for the coldest spots up in North Alabama. And the day will be brilliantly sunny with a high in the upper 50s, and Sunday, same deal. We'll start the day around freezing, wind up close to 60. And the first half of next week looks pretty quiet. There's Monday, Tuesday, and a week from today. I would suggest dry weather with highs in the 60s and lows mostly in the 40s, which is seasonal. The following day, Thursday, 11/11, trough to the west, and on the 12th, out there at the end of next week, the trough is progressive, and that suggests pretty good cold front coming in here. And, you know, The way the GFS has been doing, every other run has this. The next run doesn't. The next one will. But I think that's certainly plausible. So if that's correct, this would be the next chance of rain after today would be in about 9 days. And then a few days later on the 15th, look at the big trough west of here. And down below that, low pressure forms in the Gulf. Hey, yeah. I know what you're thinking. If this were January, that'd be a snowstorm, wouldn't it? In fact, you have to look at that and you think maybe a few flakes up there in the northern flank of all that precipitation over maybe Arkansas, but the low-level thickness values aren't cold enough to support that. Hopefully that'll bring us some good rain. And on the 18th, that's all gone, and the air is not really that cold behind that. But again, I caution you, every run has looked different out here. It's all voodoo at this point. We're just looking for trends. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog, AlabamaWX.com, in case you're watching this on iTunes or YouTube. The next video here by 3:30 today, and if you're around here, we invite you to watch us on TV this evening. That's ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.